Hi, in this video tutorial, I will be covering some additional MLA requirements for your paper. In a previous video tutorial, I covered how to properly format the body of your paper using MLA standards. Now I'm going to be covering a couple of additional requirements, namely those involving references or citations. You may remember or know that anytime you use an external source like a book or a periodical or even a website, to help you in crafting your paper, you have to give attribution or credit to that reference or source. So MLA has some requirements on how you're supposed to do that. And if we take a look at this guideline that is linked in your assignment instructions, you'll notice there's a couple of places here where citations happen. Here's one right here. And another one is down here, and you notice this one has double quotes around it. This one, the first one, didn't. And then a third type of citation happens right here. So, and it's different, yet still it doesn't have the parentheses around it. So there's different ways to handle citations. And these citations all basically give credit to the author or authors that helped you to come up with your text that you have in your paper. All of those citations correlate to what's known as the Works Cited page, and I'll scroll down here in the guidelines and show you the example Works Cited page here with the title up here, and then all the various authors or articles that were used in crafting your paper. So there's two parts to it, and it's the Works Cited page here and those citations that I just showed you, and they are linked. So anytime you have a listing in your Works Cited page, there better be an in-text citation in the body of your document that's linked to it. So it's not just one or the other, they are linked together. So not surprisingly, there are a whole bunch of rules on how to handle citations in the Works Cited page. Here in the guideline, we see a bunch of different rules for how to handle in-text citations. And then this page here, which I already showed you, these are the rules on how to craft the Works Cited page. You'll notice a variety of different styles here. This one has the author's name starting. This one's got just ... This one starts with double quotes. So there's all these different ways to do it depending upon the source you're using and depending upon what information is provided in that source or not. And those rules are handled by these gray boxes around the example here. Then, in addition, for your Works Cited page, there are a possible 14 different elements that might be required to properly list a reference or a source in a Works Cited page. Some of them might apply, some of them don't apply. Not only do you have 14 different ones, but this is the order in which you're supposed to provide that information. So you don't just get to randomly put those 14 different pieces in any order. They have to follow a strict order, and that's covered by this example here. And then here are some examples in the guideline on how to handle various different listings of your references, and here's some additional examples as well, with boxes telling you, depending upon where you get the source from, how to handle it. So, what's the upshot of all of this? The upshot is it's not trivial. There is a lot involved, and your English classes would handle the details and all its gory ways in how to do this. But the great news is that there is a feature in Microsoft Word that will handle the bulk of all of these rules to handle citations. So let's see how Word can help us to do this task for our paper. Let's assume that the source that we're using came from a website. And this is going to be pretty common for the papers that we do in this class. And maybe even for papers in other classes that you have as well. So there's a specific way to handle that. But again, let's just say that this is the This is our source. Now, what we really have going on here is a web page within a website. So, the website is about.com, and it covers a variety of different topics on all manner of things, not just technology, but this one happens to be technology related. And this is a specific page within that website dealing with this particular topic, media access control. So we want to, and let's just say for the purposes of this example, that this was the web page we used to help us craft our paper about, media access control. So let's say we have a document that we are a paper that we're starting to write, and we've got a sentence or a paragraph here that basically came from that website that I just showed you. The point is, how do we handle that reference? Well, the way that you go about doing it in Word is you come up to the References tab in your ribbon bar. We click on References. Then the very next thing you do is you need to tell Word which style you're using. Are you using APA or using MLA? We're using MLA, so you got to be careful because you notice that it defaults to APA, so we need to change that, and we need to come down here to MLA 7th edition and click on that first. That is critical because all the other things that we're going to do now are going to be predicated on the fact that we selected our MLA. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to click on Manage Sources. We're going to enter in the data for our different sources that we have created. So you can do this on the fly as you do your searching and for different articles that are going to help you to write your paper. Then as you find that article that you want to use, you can then come back into Word and start building your sources that you have created. So I've got some already done from previous things that I've done, but we're going to be creating a new source here. So we're going to click on New. And the next thing that we do is we tell it what type of source is it. Is it a book? Is it a journal article? So on and so forth. And scroll on down until you find, in this case, document from a website. Now that's very different than website. Website alone is basically saying like you use the entire website. Everything that was on that website was used to help you with the paper. And that's probably not going to be true a lot of the time. You probably will be dealing with a specific web page or web pages even from a website, and that's more aligned with this document from website. So we'll click on that. And then the first field that we're asked to fill out is the author, and that in this case was Bradley Mitchell. The name of the web page is the next field that we need to fill out. All right, so we need to go back to our web page at this point and take a look at that. There's a lot of stuff going on here, right? But what we're looking for is some kind of a title that's specific to just this content that we're dealing here. And I would tell you that that, in this case, is just this. Media Access Control is probably the web page title that we're dealing with here. So we will go ahead now and type that into our right? That's the entire name of that particular article that we were dealing with. And now we're dealing with name of website. See, that's a very different animal than the name of the web page or name of the document we were dealing with. So what is the name of the website that is giving us this particular web page? And that's usually found near the very top of the entire page that you're looking at. We see About, Tech. So there's something there that's probably related to what we're talking about. You might scroll down to the bottom and see if there is something more that's provided. Here we've got About Inc., About.com. I would tell you that these are probably all on the right track. You can also look in your URL here and see what the domain name is for this particular website. And in this case, it is about.com, is the actual name of this website. If I were to type in about.com into a blank tab here on my browser, I would be taken to this website that then allows me to drill down further and get information. So not the easiest to find. You're going to have to just kind of give it your best shot at it, but it is, what's really important is that you are distinguishing the name of the website from the name of the web page. And about.com is what we're looking for here. So let's type that in. Now it's asking, the year, month, and day have to do with the date of the article or date of the document that we're looking at. So let me pull my web page back up again. Typically, you will find dates for your web pages or documents from web pages somewhere near where the author's name is. But as in this case, we don't see one. So where else might we look? Well, we just keep scrolling down through our article, and maybe towards the end of the article, maybe you will have seen some kind of a date that's listed here. And I don't see anything listed there as well. We can keep scrolling down and see if there's anything obvious that pops up, maybe somewhere in this area here. We might see a date that's listed, and I don't see it. By the way, this shows you the cookie crumbs on how we got to the particular document. And here's, I missed this on the first go around, but here you see the site name and then further drilling down. So this was our website name in this particular case. Keep scrolling down, and I see like a copyright for the year, but that's really not the date of the article. So in this case, we do not have a date for this article. They may do that on purpose because they update this frequently. I don't know. But in any case, I don't see one, so we're going to leave that blank. Now, the next year, month, and day have to do with when you found this information. When did you stumble across this article? And that's the information that we want to capture here. Well, the year, we'll type that in. The month, so we'll put August. The day, we'll put 25. And the medium is the next field to fill out. And you see here, it says, it gives us an example down here on how it's supposed to be filled out. And it's saying, like, is it a document or is it something else? Is it an ad? Was it a video? Was it a picture? Something along those lines. So we're just going to say document here, as that is basically what we're looking at. And all of the fields have been filled out for this. Now, again, this is Word helping us out. Remember, there were 14 different fields of information that the MLA guidelines said were possible for every reference that you were going to use. So we only needed to fill out this many for a document from a website. So that's great for helping us out. So we'll click on OK, and now we have our source listed here. And we'll close that. And now the very first thing that we want to do probably in our document is use our in-text citation here at the end of this sentence or paragraph. And it's super simple. Once you've got your sources created, you just go back to your References tab, and there's an Insert Citation. You click on that, and it'll give you a list of all of your possible citations that you have created from your sources. You click on the one that's associated with this sentence or paragraph. Bada bing, bada boom. It perfectly formats that citation for you, depending upon the fields that you filled out. So now the next thing that we want to do is create our Works Cited page. Once we've got all our in-text citations taken care of, we want to create a Works Cited page, and that needs to happen on a separate page. So to create a separate page, I'm just going to do a Control-Enter to create a new page. And now I can go ahead and put in my Works Cited page here. Again, super simple. Come back up to the References tab. Click on the down arrow next to Bibliography. We don't want Bibliography. That's for APA. We want Works Cited. Click on that, and just like that, the Works Cited page is created with all the sources that are listed there. And that's it. It's automatically formatted for you. Everything is done. You're in good shape. Thanks for watching.